So we are here in the venue. I told you I'll be making some updates throughout the day, and I can be candid and honest. I'm here by myself, and no one's here. It's a silent disco. Um, but oh, he can't hear you. He can't hear you. Um, I am. We planned this event for so many people, and there's no one here. My men on my men's team said, whoever shows up, you be absolutely phenomenally excited for them. And I'm doing my best. Trying to be bitter and upset. Let's have fun. So many people said they were going to be here. I mean, even the people who registered, right? You also know that you may only get half of who registers anyway. So, oh boy, I want to make the most of this. I don't want to be moping around. I want to be lively. That's what I want to be. I want to feel lively. I want to feel excited. It's my fault, right? It's always my fault, right? At the end of the day, it always comes down to my fault, right? As a leader, not Ashanti. Not Ashanti is the fault. It's you're the leader. The event registration was low. Maybe it was a good idea to cancel the event. Maybe not. And I am sitting here looking around at empty seats and empty dance floor and a lot of resources, and just dollar signs are adding up, and it's not adding up. We fucked up. I fucked up. And I want to cry, to be honest. The amount of resources that we invested in this event for the community, the amount of emails and letters and invitations, and the amount of signups, even just the signups, and people are not here. I'm taking a breath. 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 But we're gonna have fun. Let's have fun. Let's turn it on. Let's make it amazing. And we'll see you soon. We'll keep you posted. Oh, you want to see what I'm seeing? Just in case you thought I was exaggerating. We're gonna have some fun. Let's go make it fun. We'll see you soon. Peace.
As a male educator at your school site, it can get lonely. Only 23% of K-12 educators in America are male. And just think about what this gender gap means for your male students. They experience disproportionate levels of discipline. This is a show for male educators who want to feel more understood by their community and want to create emotionally safe classrooms and schools for the next generation of male students. Welcome to Unmasking with Male Educators. Welcome to Taking Off the Mask, Unmasking with Male Educators. So many things to celebrate right now. 21 years of this work. 21 years of building community. 21 years of the Ever Forward Club. 21 years of feeling like I get up every day and get to do what I was created to do. That all the challenges that showed up in my life on the early end are what happened, so that every time something happens, I get to reflect back to this ain't the worst thing that's happened. So even as I think about this event that just happened, the 21st anniversary celebration, the deep down, like in my mind, if I go back to my elementary self who learned how to turn emotions off, the answer is really easy. We don't do this event no more. It's not working. The community's not responding. We're not able to reach the heart of the community to get them there to the event. So we got to do something different. Let's stop doing it. Like, this is not going to be the right fundraising event. We're putting money into this event, but it's not returning. And so we need to just do a fundraiser like every other nonprofit does fundraisers, where we get people into a room, they get dressed up, they get their paddles, they fund a need. They raise some money. Boom, you got a big amount of money you raise for that year. We've done it. We did our first one in 2020. ironically, right before the world shut down. We had our first gala, and I was like, okay, we're on. And then for the next 3-4 years, we couldn't do galas. And so then we were like, well, let's just do these events we used to do for young people. And we kept doing those. And so today, as I'm in reflection mode, I mean, it's still pretty fresh. It's only 48 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? Like 48 hours ago, the event happened. And you know what? At the end, when I was getting in my car, everybody was getting, the last 2-3 volunteers was getting in their car. One of the community members was like, the men who kind of helped us, he was like, how you feel? And I was just like, I know what he wants to hear. I know what he wants to hear. As a leader, my job is to do a good job of putting on this mask and being ready to lead. Forget what you feel, Ashanti. You're here for the energy of the team. Push it. Let's go. And I'm like, man, we survived. I mean, I didn't lie, but it wasn't, I know it wasn't the powerful statement like, I feel amazing. It was so great. I know that I couldn't get there. I couldn't get to that level of like masking. My mask, it was heavy. And I was like on my way in the car. I'm not even done yet. I'm only done at the venue. I'm heading back to my office to unload the van of all the stuff. So my day can't yet relax. I can't like get relaxed yet. And I'm so thankful for the men on the men's team who came and was a part of building this, because ultimately it wouldn't have happened without them. And so I think I hold two competing feelings in my soul. Right? I feel the blessing of 21 years of being able to do the work that one feels called to do. And I feel the burden of the next chapter that has to look different. And maybe it's not a burden of a next chapter, but it is okay, well, we did it for 21 years. Now it's time to do something new, which is what the Young Men's Conference is. Like the Young Men's Conference, this will be our second annual this year in November. It will be probably the next chapter of our events. You imagine? But it's hard to let go of a 21-year tradition. It's hard. Like it's not logically hard. Are you raising money? Is it covering all the costs? Are people having fun? Yes. Do people show up? Yes. Did community get involved? Yes. Like all those boxes we checked. But if you look at the end, where did we serve as many people as we were hoping to serve? Did we serve as many people as we had projected to serve? The answer would be no. And maybe if I wasn't so tied to big numbers, maybe that's part of my problem. Maybe I'm in comparison mode. Like I wanted an event where hundreds of people would show up and have a great time. And I'm not really finding enough joy in the 38 people from the community who showed up, plus the 37 volunteers who showed up. Maybe I'm just not being grateful. And so I'll go back and forth between just be grateful for who was there. Absolutely, I am. And in that video, if you heard it, or if at some point maybe you will see it. I don't know if I'll ever share it, but in the moment, I was just like feeling like I had messed up. The place was beautiful. Like the team did an amazing job setting it up, the planning, the food. Like, it was beautiful. And I just wish more people saw it. So maybe that's what I'm not doing a good job of, is just appreciating and honoring those who showed up. There's a activity we do with young people where it says, dear me, write a letter to me. And the video that I was making was like me just sitting at this table, like by myself, just like looking around. I was looking at the dance floor, 3 DJs. Not just one DJ, 3. Oh my goodness, 3 DJs. And there was no one on the dance floor. Like, man. I've heard of like club openings where they have the first weekend, and maybe they open the club and then like got everything ready, and the people are there, and the bar is there. They got their couple of friends there, and their employees there, and then the doors open at 9, and you're just like, no one's here. Maybe people start trickling in, and thank goodness I worked at a club once. I worked at a nightclub, and some nights they just got started a little later, but people started showing up. It was beautiful. It was like, okay, I don't know those people. They started showing up. A few more people came. I didn't know them. They were showing up. I'm like, okay, we're making some progress. And so I can definitely say that at the end of it, there was a rejuvenation of like seeing people come in. People came in, enjoyed the time, enjoyed the food, enjoyed the hydration, like enjoyed the art, enjoyed the music. People were making masks. It was really beautiful in that way. So I think like as I think about like trying to reflect on an event, trying to reflect on what does it mean as a community person to give to your community? What does it mean? Like how long is long enough? You see, if you work at a job and you're exchanging dollars for hours, and then you work until you decide to not work there anymore, until you transition. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get a promotion, and I want to go to a new company. But when you're creating something, it's a little different, right? Because you're creating a social enterprise that's going to serve the common good. And I've definitely thought like, okay, I've seen organizations where the leader trains up a new leader and then moves on to their next thing and trains up the new leader and leave the organization to that person. And I wonder what that looks like, feels like. Imagine what is it? What's next? What is next? And so here's what I can tell you in the joy of all that's happening. 21 years in this work, I have definitely learned a lot. I've made a lot of mistakes. I have bumped my head against a lot of walls, and sometimes I'm like, I think it's time. Like, what next? What's next? We were going to merge with an organization in the early 2018-ish time. We were talking about merging with an organization, and I was open to it. I was like, hey, I'd rather not have to worry about all the behind the scenes stuff that you have to do when you lead an organization. I was thinking about like, what would that look like? And it wasn't the right call because it wasn't the right time. But today, as I look 21 years, where are we going next? And here's what I do know. Our schools are in need more than ever. Nothing's calling me to leave, but I'm trying to figure out how do we become more efficient, more effective? How do we begin to create the partnerships in schools and districts where the work gets brought in through the people on the higher level, from the district side? Now, as a former teacher and administrator, you don't always like when the district is saying, you're going to do this and you're going to do that and you're going to do that and you're going to do that. They don't like it. Like, we know that. We've seen it. I've experienced it. But I also know what happens when you're trying to like do the thing school specific, and then you ultimately are kind of like just running in circles, because every 2 years, every 3 years, a new administrator comes in, and then you're kind of rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding. So one of the things that I'm thinking about, and I think, in this conversation today about me reflecting on this 21-year event, I hold two places. I am so overjoyed. It may be hard to say after you heard some of the words I've said, how overjoyed I am today. I am overjoyed that we continue to get to do this work. I'm overjoyed. I'm grateful. And the next chapter of this work is going to require that we build a new frontier for education. As education under attack, as you may have heard, and I talk about it regularly, but we're seeing it. And with the new cuts that just recently came, there's cuts in education again in there. And a lot of times people are not talking about it because there's not people who are interested in education in such a way. So we know that we're losing people on their medical care, and people are losing the coverage that they needed for health and benefits. But what we also are not really recognizing is where the trickle-down effects happen when money is pulled from schools. And since we know schools are challenged right now, we have a responsibility to do the work. Now, part of me is like, just change this whole episode. Don't release this. Don't release this. Like, let it go. Let's start from the beginning. Hey, what's up, folks? Guess what? We just finished our 21st annual community challenge. 21 years of creating absolute positive environments in our community for young people and adults. I met some amazing young people at this event. I met 2 young men from one of our young men's health groups. These young men are looking for something to do this summer. We talked about them being on the podcast, so you'll hear from one of them or 2 of them in the next couple of weeks because they want to be on the show, and we're going to talk to them about education and how educators can better serve students. They're going to be trainers this next year doing workshops at their old middle schools, even at their own high school. They're going to this summer learn how to facilitate the Taking Off the Mask workshop. Like, I'm super excited for them. They're passionate. Another young man who got to be at the Common Sense Media event with Richard Reeves on stage. He is going to do some work with us this summer. We're going to do an event this summer. We're going to help those 3 young men work on the Young Men's Conference in the fall. So this event, even though it didn't have everyone who I was hoping was going to be there, meaning like the room full of people packed edge to edge, I got a chance to sit down with some amazing folks. I got to see Jonathan came back. If you know Jonathan, if you know Ever Forward, Jonathan's been around for a while. He just finished his first anniversary of graduating high school. I guess what you call it, right? He's working. He got a job. He came in looking all spiffy with his flannel. Is that flannel? But no, it was the cool little shirt he had. Like, look at you with a man with a job and your Jordans on, huh? Like living life. So excited about what got to happen this week. I got to sit down with another young man who I had never met before, showed up, 21 years old, a young adult, just navigating life. Those conversations wouldn't have happened, I think, if the room was packed. I would have been running from edge to edge trying to make sure everything was all together. So I am grateful. I am grateful. And so when I tell you that we'd have the dance between the blessings of what's happening after this 21 years and sometimes the burdens of things also, I am clear that my work today is so more important than I ever thought it could be. And as we move into this next year, as we move into creating these resources for educators to absolutely transform their classrooms, as we begin to not only share this work out with the world, as we help educators realize that there is so much more to you and there's more to every student that walks in this room. Every student that walks in your classroom, there's more to them than you can see what's happening on the outside. So one of our visions is that schools and teachers around the country will, week 1, make masks with their students. Use that information, that data to help them see that their school needs to not wait for the crisis, begin to be proactive about the supports that we provide for students. And that is going to happen week 1 in schools all over the country. And the only way that's going to happen is we got to start now this summer, reaching out to administrators. Now, we know that right now, I'm talking about trying to reach out to administrators. They're talking about, please shut up. We're going to take a break. Because for some schools are not even out yet. Oakland ended last week, and other schools are ending this week and the week after and the week after. So we have still schools that haven't even started their break. So we'll give them some time to rejuvenate and rest. And then July, we're kicking off with outreach for educators in schools all over the country as they begin to prepare for the next school year. So I don't know where you are, if you're a parent, teacher, educator, or administrator. I'm not sure if you're on the district office side or if you're in the classroom building side. We encourage you to get signed up to make sure you get the updates. If you're listening to this podcast, I'll be sharing more about it. If you are already on our newsletter, you will hear about it. We're about to move into the next chapter of this work. This summer, we have some interns. They just started today. Today's the first day for the interns. Today, they're going to begin their projects on their campuses. The Million Mask Movement will be moving to college campuses around the country. We have one intern in D.C., and we have several other interns here in California. And so what this next part, what you're going to be seeing as we approach 100,000 people served through the Million Mask Movement, we will reach that this fall. I'm saying it out loud. I've only said it to people on the quiet before, but we're going to be there. No, this is going to happen. By the end of December, we will reach our goal. That means we have 15,000 masks, 15,000 students, 15,000 people around the world to reach in the next 6 months. And we can do it. I believe we can. More than I do, I believe we can. I know we can. The key is we're going to make the right decisions on this side. We're hiring this summer. We're hiring facilitators. We're hiring people who are going to take over our Young Men's Health Group in San Francisco. We are in a season of growth. So I want you to know that I hold both of these just as powerfully. I hold myself to high expectations. I let myself feel. Sometimes I don't want to do it. I told Ryan today I didn't want to really record today. I didn't want to record, not that I didn't want to have this conversation. I just didn't want to have all these emotions popping out because I knew it was still raw. So this past week at my men's team, we did an activity. One of the men led a experience. And on a piece of paper, we first wrote, what is something that didn't go well this past year? What is something that didn't go well? And something that you're not really proud of how it went, or you're not thankful about, or whatever that was. And you write it on this pad, on this piece of card stock. And then as we shared it with the men, we threw it on top of this coal and it burned up. So each of us went around and did that. And then the second round, they got another card and it's like, what are you going to commit to doing for the rest of this year to shift what didn't go well? I wrote, I will be proud of myself. Like I don't know about how you hold yourself and are proud of yourself. Like when I see people who are proud of themselves, I'm like, how do they do that? How do they do it so regularly? Because it's not the normal conversation that's happening in my head. And I was going to read these letters to you, and I didn't even get to the letter, the Dear Me letters, the words that I'm saying to myself about myself. This one here says, these are middle schoolers, right? So, Dear Me, I know you're tired, but nobody cares. I know people hurt you, but who cares? I need to go to school, put a smile on my face, and shut up. Ever felt that? Ever felt that as a middle schooler? That people have hurt you, you're tired, but nobody cares about how you feel. Suck it up, go to school, and put a smile on your face and shut up. Man, you ever felt that before? Maybe you felt that as a middle schooler. Maybe you have also felt that as an adult. I don't know. Here's another one. Now these are getting smaller writing, so I gotta put these other pair of eyes on. Dear Me, I'm not trying to hear Mr. Wood today. I hate school. I'm a cry. I just want to stay in my bed. I want to sleep. Why I look like that? You ever had like the place that you have to go every day, like you just didn't want to go? Like maybe you were a teenager, maybe you had that experience. Maybe school was a place you hated, but you knew you had to get up and go anyway. You had to deal with these teachers whatever your connection was to them was not positive. And the last one here is the other side. Because in a school where you have kids who are just feeling like nobody cares about how they feel, who hate school, you also have kids who are having these kind of conversations to themselves. Dear Me, you are smart, you are strong, you are kind, you can do anything. If God is for me, who can be against me? Philippians 4:13, and that says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so how powerfully that at the same school, in the same class, these students are having these conversations to themselves. Some who believe they're smart and they can do anything and they're positive and confident. And some who believe that nobody cares about how I feel, so I just got to suck it up and shut up. And man, those masks get really well crafted that we have to put on the outside to contain all the stuff that we're feeling on the inside. So as we think about some students who are saying for an event in the community, a free event with food, fun, music, prizes, it was not school. There's not a teacher there to teach you anything. You just come and have some fun. We felt the connection that students also don't want to go places. Not just they don't want to go to school. We made this opportunity open for the community, and we had a hard time reaching youth. And what we hear from other nonprofits right now is that youth are hard to reach today. The devices in their hands, where's my phone? The devices that they carry, the devices they use, their attention is powerfully connected to these devices. And the question is, how are we going to reach them when we have tools and resources for them to just go and decompress? You know, when we see interviews of people who have gotten themselves in maybe in some situations, we hear a lot of them say, I wish there was more resources when I was younger. I wish there was more opportunities. Now, if you know anything about the Bay Area, you know that there's no shortage of opportunities in the Bay Area. There's no shortage of resources in the Bay Area. It is a shortage of mentality. It's a shortage of attention span. It's a shortage of paying attention to what is available. We're about to hit summer, and there's a lot of young people not signed up for summer programs. There's a lot of young people who have no plans for the summer yet. It's about to be June right now. And so imagine you have a bunch of students who right now have nothing to do all summer, and we are trying to figure out how do we help the community, because other nonprofits are experiencing this too. Like, how do we get them to reach the students? It's a new conversation. And what we got to do is talk to more of the youth. And so those three young men I told you about, actually four of them, actually five of them, they're going to be helping us this summer to find the language, the words, the cadence, the places where the young people's attention are, so we can go there and say, hey, by the way, maybe you want to put this down for a little bit so we can get you some more opportunities. Maybe what are your goals in the future? Let's figure out how to give you some skills. So what we know is that not only are students not wanting to go to school, they're sometimes not even wanting to go to community opportunities that would help to elevate their life. That is one thing that we are trying to work to do. And so through this work, the Million Mask Movement, through this work, the Masks, Emotions, and Math Project, through this work, the Taking Off the Mask workshops and assemblies, through this work, the professional development that we do for schools and educators, through this work, the new coaching program that's going to happen for teachers, and through this book, The Diary of a Confused Educator, we are going to make transformation. Let me say that again. We are going to make transformation in our schools. We're going to make transformation in our communities, and it starts one honest conversation at a time. For adults to talk about how we feel in a healthy, safe, and honest way. For young people to know that people do care about how you feel. We just got to help you find the right circle of people who care. And for the young people who have the positivity to say, I want to give back. I believe I'm powerful. I believe I'm strong. I believe I'm smart. And I want to help others feel that too. We can pull all that together if we do the work that we were called to do. And 21 years ago, Ever Forward started not just to help those students at San Lorenzo High School, but it's to say, how can we right now, more than ever, transition and transform how schools work, especially for the ones that are not working. Folks, listen, thank you for being a part of this 21-year journey with us. Thank you for hearing this reflection. I'm not sure how you heard this reflection. I'm not sure if you heard the positive. I'm not sure if you heard the sad. I'm not sure if you heard some of the negative. I'm not sure what you heard because it's in different order. But I want you to know that we're all complex and we're all complex beings. And I hope you have a place where you go and navigate all the things you feel in a healthy way so that it doesn't just come out sideways in unhealthy ways. That's what I'm hoping for you. That's what we hope in these conversations. And as we try and connect with more male educators around the country, around the world, if you know a male educator we should talk to, please connect them with us. Just so you know, the book launches tomorrow. Like I told you about the book, tomorrow it's available. So you'll see it on our social platforms at Ever Forward Club or Branch Speaks. It's available tomorrow. You can order it. Bookshop.org or Barnes and Nobles or anywhere you buy books, you can buy it. And I'm so thankful for this opportunity to do the work that I feel called me to the world. That's what I'm excited about. Take good care. Be well. Have an amazing summer. Stay tuned for what's going to happen over the summer. We're still figuring it all out. So just know that you'll see us on social media, but we'll give you updates from time to time about what we're going to do and what our summer plans are. So stay tuned for that. And we are excited that we're going to be doing some new stuff as we move into the fall. And so we want you to be involved. So stay tuned. Get involved. If you haven't yet made your mask, as always, you can do that at millionmask.org, anonymously, millionmask.org. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye now.